Gargoyle, Starburst. New contact.
Gargoyle 1, that's our target. Leave them to us. Unicorn is pressing the fish bed. Unicorn 3 and 4, cover that parasinking right. Getting off his position. Don't let him go. Press.
Thanks to the drawing distance, most of the friendly fighting is radio drama. Right, there is the blue Unicorn flight, with the green flight in front of them. Green are enemies which are not our target. Not to be confused with not our problem. But we generally don't want to waste any precious ordnance on them because this is not ace combat.
Oh boy, here we go. Declare.
Gargoyle, your group. Bearing 360. 25 miles.
Lock.
14,000. Fishbed, hostile. You are weapons free.
Hey, they are tracking me.
Coming in against air target. Gargoyle 2, Fox 3.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 4.
Let's get the hell out of here. This is not Strike Fighters 2, and the R60Ms those fishbeds carry guide okay and can be a one-hit kill. Their problem is the piss-poor range.
Gargoyle 1, good kill.
Alright, nice kill.
If you miss, the hard flashes lose at you.
I've got two. Gargoyle 1, target's at 12 o'clock. Gargoyle 2, Fox 3.
Cap, flare.
Confirm splashes, Gargoyle. Good shooting.
Roger, Starburst. Whoa, my heart is really pounding.
Bugger. You heard the Sidewinder growl, didn't you? It's so much better than the binary lock-no lock in SF2, it's not even funny. Now, you can see the yellow timer in the corner of the screen. Most missions involve not just destroying targets, but also chilling at the target waypoint. I'm not sure what happens if you leave before killing everything you're supposed to. Never tried that. The Unicorn flight is still having fun with their fishbeds, while I'm going to pester 2 some more.
Gargoyle 1, I'm too far from you. Heading there now. Gargoyle 1, have you got visual?
You give orders by hitting select using the rudder buttons and hitting select again. And you can always see the issued order on the screen.
I know!
We still have plenty of fuel. Bringing a drop tank is generally a bad idea for most missions because there's no button to jettison them in an emergency, and this game does take drag into account. Oh, and the stars show up when you go higher, and the air density drops. It becomes rather amusing if you use the dogfight generator to put an F-16 at 50,000 feet. We haven't seen much of the gun, have we?
Can't see anything from your position.
No, too. Can't a man just play with his Vulcan in peace?
Starburst, how about a Victor home?
Target is at bearing 045. Commence vector inbound.
Wilco.
Anyway, as I said in the thread, I'm not playing the original Energy Airforce. Even though I do have a copy, which is Italian. No language select, English voice and menus, Italian help, subtitles and the box. And an Italian manual where I found a couple of typos. Which surprised me because I don't speak Italian. The original Energy Airforce is sort of a completely blatant Ace Combat 4 clone with the stupidest gimmick imaginable. Realism. For starters, just like in AC4, you would take off on a separate map and get warped to the mission area. If you want to rearm, you could just fly across the marked map border to warp back to base. As I remember, the first mission of Ace Combat 4 had you intercepting half a dozen bombers traveling in 2 groups, escorted by half a dozen fighters.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 5. Target is at bearing 015. Gargoyle, picture is clean.
Copy waypoint, Starburst.
The first mission in Energy Air Force was you intercepting 3 Su-25s attempting to attack some target from one direction, but flying solo with a couple of kilometers between them. And the Frogfoot, or is it Frog Feet, were escorted by a single fishbed you could mostly ignore. And that's how most of the whopping 10 missions in Energy Air Force worked. Take an ace combat mission and reduce the number of targets to match the realistic missile count. 1 plane instead of a squadron, 3 tanks instead of 10. There was even an interrupter space launch mission where you were told to bomb a couple of bunkers and then a perfectly ordinary small space rocket launch pad. And then the greatest plot twist happened. The enemy had another launch pad, so I just blew it up with a single cannon burst. Speaking of plot, Energy Air Force didn't have any. There was no continuity between missions, and nothing of note happened in the missions except for new enemies spawning or the wingmen getting shot down every damn time. And they were proud of that. The intro OVA flat out told you that no story was to be found in the game.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 6. Target is at bearing 360. Gargoyle starburst, you're cleared on to file. Contact tower at 10 miles.
Wilco.
The intro here and this mission have more script than all of the original Energy Air Force. Right, the red timer means I'm horribly off schedule. Ahead of schedule in this case. I'll be trying to avoid that as well, because I think that might cut off some of the late mission chatter. I'm not sure how much of the dialogue is tied to us hitting the waypoints and how much depends on other flights.
Tower, Gargoyle checking in.
Gargoyle, we have you in sight. Continue inbound. Report 3 miles with the gear.
To get my landing gear out, I need to drop my speed below 300 and hit down on the D-pad. It is kinda important to remember not to go over 300 with your gear down, because a few planes here will automatically retract it with no warning if you do.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 5.
Uniform 1, roger. Tower, 3 down and locked.
Gargoyle, clear to land runway 36. Winds light and variable.
See this, third wire? This game has functional landing lights. This game even has some physics for your plane sliding on the concrete on its belly if you forget the gear, but that will fail the mission, so I'm not showing it yet.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 6.
Roger, Starburst. Preparing RTB.
Overall, a job well done. Now it's time to stop and face the music. This is our replay mode. It's not too bad. I mean, we actually get a replay mode. Unfortunately, the camera control is limited, and Energy Air Force also records the direction my pilot is facing, so I can't freely pan the view. Check out this hardcore taxiing action. A few camera modes become available only after takeoff. I wonder if you've noticed the music. Oh, look, the unicorns were ahead of us, but too far to render. Anyway, the music. I think Energy Airforce has 5 or so tracks which play exclusively in replays, and you can't pick what you're getting. Oh, you hear the sound effects only if you let go of the fast forward button, and the radio chatter will only come up in the cockpit view. Right, here's us spotting the green MiGs. That means the target flight is coming up soon. And I missed the launches. And there is no rewind button, but there is a missile camera. But I can't select the missile or the plane I follow. It was upon examining these kills frame by frame that I decided they carry the R60M, also known as the AA-8 Ephid. They are small but very painful in this series. Okay, so there's that missile coming from the final fishbed because my buddies are not complete idiots like the guys in the previous Energy Airforce. No, really. There, I had my wingman shot down in a tutorial mission. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep playing this recording until we hit the landing. By the way, the maximum mission length and the replay length in both PS2 games is 30 minutes. Usually a mission takes about 15. aimStrike added an option to save replays to your memory card, if you're willing to sacrifice 100 kilobytes for each minute of footage. That's not very convenient with the 8 megabyte cards. The scores. The points are pointless because the missions are not ranked at all. You either complete them or die trying. Ah, we've unlocked the intro. Fantastic. The second stage of any scenario offers us a choice between 2 missions. We need to clear only one to progress. Seeing that 2B takes us on another patrol in the already familiar area, the air interdiction in the 2A is the more interesting option. I guess that's what I'll be doing next time.